I'll talk about it. Yeah, what happens? Was it given some feedback? Okay. Yeah. I apologize. I haven't done it yet. I apologize. Oh, I'll go through it. Where's the clicker? This is our clicker?
Yeah.
Straightforward, forward and back. Okay. That can be closed though. I mean, bam, bam, done. Okay, there's like a fourth of us, but we'll start. Yeah, want to start on time. So Liza, bless her soul, gets to be in Costa Rica right now, poor thing. And she's asked me to cover running team meeting, so here I am. Welcome to team meeting. I know, right? So this is gonna be a bit of a fly by the seat of my pants. I have the easy part. Makai has to come up with the slides and stay on top of them. I'm just gonna look at the slides that she already put together and there it is. Cool, cool. All right, you can sign in. I don't know whoever does that, but it's an option that I guess the administration would like you to do. I'll leave it there for a moment. Oh, what up? It worked the first time. Yep, there we go. Worked when you touched it. Thanks, good job. Okay. Oh, you were actually signing in, my man. Good job. Nobody. The weather just make it so nobody came to the office today? Is it me? They heard I was running.
Actually, a bunch of them went to Detroit with.
Oh, that's true. With Luminary. Yeah.
So a whole bunch of the agents have gone to like a regular training thing.
Who went to that?
A lot of people, like 15 people. Like Marita.
15 people.
Marita, Linda. I don't know. There's a ton of people. Barb.
Yeah, we also got a text saying that you should come to team meeting tomorrow for the update.
Well, it had the date at the beginning, at the bottom it said tomorrow. So
Just saying, and I said, what meeting tomorrow? And no one responded to me. There you go.
Heads up that the office will be closed on Monday. So feel free to come in if you want and do your thing as you normally would, but the office staff will be out. Start with some gratitude. Lee, you're so ready with your hand up.
So Nate is not here, but I want to thank, Nate is here. Hi, Nate. I just wanted to thank Nate for the best class I think I've been to last Friday. All of you missed it.
It was that AI class?
It was how to service your clients using AI. And he made it so easy, so step by step. And like he said, he's saving 2 hours a day. I believe it's going to be at least that. I was thrilled. I can't thank you enough. And you all should try really hard to beg him to teach a class that fills this room with 50 or more people. I'm serious about that.
So Nate, do you have any plans to teach that class again? Do you have it scheduled again?
We have it recorded though, so
Nate has thoughts.
The playbook's in Linktree, so there are full instructions, and then there is a recording that Makai will send out Thursday. There you
Beautiful,
go.
because I was sad I missed it. Stuff came up on my schedule and it was in my schedule, but I couldn't make it.
Yeah, there's 2 files in Linktree. The first are the instructions on how to set it up, and then the second one is examples of how to use it. And I'm here most days if you want to pop in and you have specific questions.
Just eating it up. Josh and I were both eating it up. Everybody else was it.
I tried to do it on Zoom, it wasn't the same. Need it easier.
All right. Anybody else want to share any gratitude? Jeff. And Lee again.
So I don't see him here, but I've been gone for like the past month, and I really wanted to give credit to Telly because he took care of so much for me, showings and opening doors many times for inspections and everything. So he's been a huge plus. So anyway, I want to say it publicly. He's not here, but thanks, Telly, for all the help.
Nice to
Thank
thank
you.
Allie and Aaron, who both held grand opening for me, 2-hour and 2-hour shifts, and both of them picked up 2 unrepresented buyers for them to work with. So
Awesome.
I just want to thank everyone that's on the golf committee. They've been really coming in clutch. We're super close to where we need to get, but we are looking for volunteers the morning and afternoon of the golf tournament. So touch base with me or Samantha afterwards, but just wanted to give a shout out to the golf committee because this is a ton of work and we've raised a bunch of money so far based on players and sponsors. And we have over 40 raffle prizes, so it should be a ton of fun.
Annie.
I just want to thank you, Chris, for being my right-hand man. Chris
Oh.
does all my open houses and he does them wonderfully. And sometimes I suck and forget to give him key box codes and he sweats
Happened
in front of the
once.
house. But yeah, I really appreciate you for being my guy for that sort of thing.
You bet. Thank you. I actually also wanted to thank Nate. He is stepping out of our ALC to focus on the production and the growth of his team. I'm really excited to see what he does with his team, but I've always felt like he's been a really great addition to the ALC. He's been doing ALC and leadership for much longer than I have anyway. So I wanted to be on the ALC among other reasons to be in a room full of people smarter than me. And Nate was one of those guys. So thank you. Thank you for what you've done so far. Nate. I also actually wanted to thank Jordan, who's probably back in his office. I had questions. Oh, there. Thanks, Jordan, publicly for all your help whenever I have questions about commercial or anything that I know you know things about that I don't. I stepped into his office last night to ask some questions about historic properties because I knew nothing. And he sent me a bunch of links and talked to me. I don't know what he was in the middle of, but he stopped to help me out. So thank you, Jordan. Okay. Anybody else dying to share anything about what they're thankful for? Okay, we'll step on. Bite-sized wins. John Jordan, you got anything this week? It's always you.
You know what? I put my DNA results in chat, and it told me all this cool stuff and all these stories about people, Revolutionary War and the Mayflower and all this.
That is cool stuff. Nate taught an AI-based class last week. Does anybody who went have anything they want to hit up about that class or
well,
what they
first
got
of all,
out of it?
I have Chat GPT Plus, and I'm having a small group meeting today with some people who want to do what you were telling us to do. So I have all the instructions, everything printed out. So we're starting to do our servicing at 1 o'clock today. So thank you very much for moving me forward.
Nice. Anybody else using AI for wins? John, there you go.
I got another one. I saw that the real estate assistant is going to be replaced by AI. And
we'll
it
see.
listed all the different things that it did. And I've started to work on having AI do those things for me.
Nice. Good.
Okay,
John's
so
got an
mine is
assistant.
not business related, but I'm not super handy, but I'm working on a project. So I put it into ChatGPT and I gave it like, I'm doing an accent wall at my house. And so I put it into ChatGPT like my wall is X by X. And I sent it a picture of what I was doing. And I said, put together a plan for me. Like, what are my measurements?
Yeah.
What am I doing? And it spit out this whole, like, here's your measurements. Here's how much material you need. Here's what you need for all the, just basically gave me a whole construction plan. So that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Kirsten.
I have a what not to do chat GPT. I called a lender for a buyer that's on my listing. And I said, I was under the impression that you can't put more than 3% closing costs towards from the seller on a conventional loan. And he said, I'm pretty sure that they can ask for more. ChatGPT told me, I put it in there and it said that the guidelines popped out that you can have more because they're putting 20% down. And I said, I was driving here and I had big eyeballs and I almost crashed. And I was like, okay, well, so you're going to verify that with somebody. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go to my office and talk to my broker and double check, but I'll let you know. So all of a sudden I get a text 20 minutes later that says, by the way, just so you know, you can put more than 3% towards the closing costs because they're putting 20% down. ChatGPT was right. Ha ha ha. Just know that freaked me out. Like, don't ever tell someone that you put something in ChatGPT to tell you a legal rule. Like, if that's what's going on, don't tell me that. So just don't ever do something like that.
And I used chat to tell me step by step, how do I set up an LLC in Utah? So that's my project
Oh,
today.
perfect.
Step by step.
Great.
I had ChatGPT plan me a trip around Vietnam yesterday, around the typhoon, and it even helped me with like cheaper airports to fly into and out of. So that was kind of cool.
When are you going?
December.
Have fun, dude. Vietnam. All right.
I
Oh.
had.
Please. I'm sorry.
She handed me the mic. This one is not business either, but it could be. I looked up a certain medical condition and it went through step by step and actually had made me an entire book of, it's got checkoff lists and daily meal plans, and it went into so much in depth. It was crazy. And it just kept asking me, do you want me to turn this into a chart? Do you want me to put this into a
Right.
spiral bound or whatever on the plus side of things? And it ended up, it's about a 25-page booklet, but to turn that, if you needed something super quick, it did it within 10 minutes.
Yeah. And that was probably just limited by how long it took you to think of what the next question ought to be, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
apparently there's more than one AI platform.
Apparently, yeah.
Not just ChatGPT. There's ones that help generate pictures faster than ChatGPT does. So we asked ChatGPT how to, or not how to, but to create Alex's sign setup logo so we can add it to the golf tournament picture for logos. And it gave us a logo for his business in like 5 minutes.
Sweet. Another one.
So as I've been taking over this franchise for sprinkler repair, I've wanted to make sure that I'm, being competitive and trying to give the most to my customers. And so I've been running my numbers, keeping track of numbers throughout the year. And so I wanted to see what Grok would actually spit back to me. And there's like the expert version or something, which I just barely found out. And so I said, hey, this is where I'm at. I'm in Salt Lake City. I've got this, I've got that, I've got the other. What type of business cost should I be targeting? What would be the average of what you see, or what's suggested in my particular industry? And it spit out a bunch of different information of, hey, you should be, labor should be here, your parts cost should be here, and just kind of giving a good idea to make sure that I'm kind of validating the path that I'm on, seeing if there's anything that I can kind of tweak and make changes to, or see if there's any opportunities that I can take advantage of to bring the most value to my customers.
Nice. Yeah. It's wildly helpful once you get into it. Okay. Hey, go ahead and hand him back the mic because that's a perfect segue to our next slide here. Welcome to our new agents, guests, and visitors. And I don't recognize you. What's your name, sir?
I'm Trevor Stevens. I own Sprinkler Master Repair for the north half of Salt Lake County. So I'm an engineer by trade. I'm also a general contractor. I've got ADHD, so I learn about everything. I dive into most things to depths that people don't ever do. So currently that's what I'm doing with sprinklers. My goal is to bring the most value to my customers, and also I'm trying to push the industry to start paying techs more. So my goal, my engineering feat, is to try to make the numbers work so I can pay my techs the most and make them the best trained. So when it comes to you guys, the offer I want to give to you guys is we want to be your go-to when it comes to anything sprinkler repair. We want to be able to take care of you, educate you and your customers on options. We're about value. We're not about sales. I'm an engineer by trade. I don't do sales. So I educate people, and then I say what works best for your situation, because I can't know all of their parameters. So I'm training all of my techs that way. My office assistant is amazing. She's got that same mentality. So that's what we'll come to. In talking to some home inspectors and stuff, they say, well, the biggest thing that real estate agents worry about is, are you going to be an asset to help us close it, or are you going to not? So when it comes to education, we can take the information that we get from an inspection and the sprinklers before you have a purchase or a sale, and we can take that information and explain it in a way that will be positive and help your customers feel like they're coming out on top with a win. We can see if we can get some compromises from the sellers if you're working with a buyer, or if we can get it set up to where what's valuable that'll actually, help you sell the house quicker. So
That's perfect.
landscaping, soil irrigation, so outdoor irrigation.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, who else we got visiting the office today?
Pam and George Taylor with Overall Air. So not only does mold affect humans, but mold affects our pets as well. So tonight we're doing a special Bark in the Park in Draper, helping, excuse me, all of our pet-friendly friends recognize how mold can really affect your cats and your dogs because they're so close to it and they tend to lick it and all sorts of things. So I'm not sure if the rain's going to hold off or not, but hey, come visit us at Draper Park tonight.
Great, thank you. Any other mold specialists this week? Because last week we had like 3 here, we crossed wires, it was funny. Any other mold specialists this week? No, all right. Any other visitors this week? Who's here?
Hello, everybody. I'm
What up?
Alex, with Alex's sign setup. I just want to say, I think I'd be a good asset to your team. So if you're trying to get someone to set up your signs for you, just give me a call.
It's fast and efficient, affordable.
And he went back to fix for us. Not his fault in the beginning. Yep. And fixed it in his.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Hello, I'm Connor McCrory. I've launched Contact Solutions. I'm happy to help with any IT servicing. I can handle password management, file structures, and organization, as well as device security and hopefully workflow automations in the future. So, oh yeah, and device setups. So feel free to reach out with any tech needs. Happy to help.
Thank you. Anybody we've missed, new agents or visitors? All right. All right. Click. Click. It's not happening, Mackay. Save me. Point and click. Great. Great. Save me.
So here's my AI tip for the day. Don't Google or chat GBT symptoms. Just don't do it. My wife's got a headache. Oh my God. Anyway, don't do that. I'm just going to talk about a couple of things that I had this week. Bulletproofing a transaction. What does that mean? Plan for what if, right? That's probably the perfect example. Making sure it's a binding contract, that there's enforceable things. So if things go south, you have a plan or you pre-thought it. What makes a binding contract?
Signatures from all parties involved.
An understanding is probably a big thing. I mean, if you have a written agreement that both sides understand and they both sign it, you should have a binding agreement that is enforceable and therefore bulletproof. What happens if it's not clear? Okay, for example, all personal property currently contained in home are included with sale except for grandma's dresser. Is that clear?
No.
No, and that's the kind of stuff that I see on a regular basis. Is it's a lot easier to say what's exempted than it is an inventory list. But a contract is supposed to be standalone. When you come to a meeting of the minds and all your addenda are there, you're supposed to be able to take that document and that package or whatever and put it in front of a judge, and he should be able to figure it all out, right? And so when we say, as per MLS, can he do that? Or do we have to attach the MLS printout as an exhibit?
And
Okay.
the date of that MLS printout. Or not, because the MLS could change on this day.
Right.
Your inclusion versus this day, so.
Which actually is a little side note here. I know I'm a dweeb, but when you list a property and I ask for your MLS printout and also the copy of the signed input sheet and all that kind of stuff, but then I ask for it again when it goes under contract, it seems a little redundant, but there have been changes. And what I need on the under contract side is what the buyers were aware of when they bought it, not when you listed. Okay, so it does seem redundant, but I'm looking for two different things. Standalone, undefined terms. Okay, let me ask you a question again. You make an offer on the property and you give the sellers until 5 o'clock and they don't get home from work until 7 o'clock. What do? Do they accept it? Do they counter it? Do they?
They accept it and add an addendum changing the acceptance.
You accept it, but change?
Add an addendum saying that there's.
So you change.
Kind of change it.
They kind of change. Can't be a little pregnant, folks. You either are or not. You're either changing it or you are not, right?
Can you repeat the question?
Pardon me?
Can you repeat your question?
I don't know what my question was. I don't know.
As far as the timeframe on the rep sheet is for acceptance time only. So if you pass that deadline, accepting it actually would do no good if you pass it. So you have to counter it to accept it, or if you pass the deadline, you can always counter to make any changes.
But everything's acceptable. How do you counter it?
You counter it
Right.
with extending acceptance deadline.
Because the acceptance deadline is not acceptable, therefore you counter it. So it is a counter offer changing the acceptance deadline. There's no such thing as a response deadline. And literally 3 times yesterday on closed files, we added addenda, which are exposure to a contract falling apart, to extend a non-defined thing, which is a response deadline. Ain't no response deadline. And if you're pointing to something that doesn't exist or is not defined, now you have a questionable contract which may not be enforceable and you are not bulletproof. That makes sense?
So if it's later in the contract and it's an addenda, deadline. You still-
Yeah. If somebody gives you, okay, now we're on addendum. Now we're on it. Let's go to something real. Addendum 12. This week was brutal, guys. I'm telling you, I don't know. You're selling some houses, but man, some people are making it tough. And I'm not blaming it on you, but when you get to addendum 12, pick up the phone. You know what I mean? Pick up the phone, let's work this stuff out and then document what we worked out. But anyway, so you're on addendum 12. Addendum 12 is not acceptable. They reject it. Where do you go next? Where are you at?
You're still 12. So, but if you're trying to do another addendum, now you're at 12. You don't want to go to 13 though. 12 then and actually.
But where's the agreement at?
It's addendum, the agreement will let you 11.
Oh, no, you've got acceptances along the way. I mean, that's. The 12 is rejected. You go back to the last meeting of the minds, right? Okay, so we have arguments where, no, we make this proposal and you didn't, and therefore we're dead. That's not the case either. You go back to the last meeting of the minds, right? Until somebody puts if this is not acceptable, this is buyer's notice of cancellation due to a term in the contract that allows them to cancel. Not, my mom didn't like the house. Okay, and again, we get back to the too wordy part of things. When do you have the right to accept is all I'm looking for, excuse me, cancel. When you have the right to cancel, providing written notice and show me that you did, our contract is dead. But we get, mom didn't like the house, therefore, and this big paragraph, and it goes back to last meeting of mine, so you're still on the contract and your earnest money forfeiture clock continues to run, okay? And now you're exposed not only in a lawsuit between buyer and seller, but probably a breach of fiduciary to you. So bulletproofing the transaction, again, guys, is it clear? Is it standalone? Is it signed by everybody? And is within the time frame? We also had one this week that said sellers didn't provide their sellers disclosures on time. This was the date, they gave it to us here. Now we're all the way to closing and they're going to use that as the reason to cancel the contract. The sellers defaulted by not providing those sellers disclosures. No. The longer you get from something like that, the less the courts look at it as being valid. You can't wait 3 months and say, oh, by the way, you didn't provide your seller's disclosures at acceptance. We just didn't bring it up. Courts are not going to play that way. Okay. Questions?
There is a form in the MLS for cancellations that are already specified for you, right? There's like for due diligence, or if the J or other reason that's specified. in the contract. So we've already written.
There's an other line.
Yeah. Don't.
A lot of people use the other line. A lot of people use the other line. Yeah. Hi, brother. Good to see you.
So, okay, so agent forgets to select the box accept, yet every communication, you know, that was sent to the other side says accept. And then, but there's no box that was checked. to accept, so it was a terrible mistake.
So if and again, so you're talking on a cancellation, they didn't check any one of the three.
Well, no, on the contract itself, the box wasn't accepted, so on that.
Okay, right then, we should be doing our job. Would you mind having that checked? Okay, if we miss it and we are now 4 addendums into the future, courts would basically look at, it's understood it was going because they both continued to negotiate, and so we'll go on, comma. But boy, that's pretty weak to stand on a contract. And a lot of times, guys, you know how much it costs to work with an attorney? A bunch, okay? You're at least $600-700 into having them write a forceful letter, okay? And that's after their free consultation. Okay, so you're at least that, and you're arguing over a $200 disposal. Really? You know, I mean, figure out that stuff, and if it's something that your buyer, if it's worth canceling, that should be the conversation, or if it's not worth canceling, that should be the conversation. but not checking the box. And guys, a lot of times, hard to believe, but there are some people in our industry that purposely don't check boxes so they have something they can come back and argue later. Okay, so again, bulletproof your transactions. Your clients are paying you decent money to bulletproof their transactions, and when the transaction closes, it should stay closed by some of the things that you've done. Okay, that way we don't have to go back to Jake every other day saying, when this closed, do you remember them saying anything about, you know? Questions, concerns, comments? Say, Chris, without this subject, I just suck the life out of it and give it back to you.
You giving me this? Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. We all hope you never retire. You taking this? Did we get anything from Kimber this week? We never ended up. Okay. All right. And I don't have Sean's thoughts on this. Oh, when? Oh, via email, via text? Okay. I haven't seen it yet. So it was sent to me and I didn't look at it. But our Cultural Icon Award last week went to, went to Sean Erickson. And here are his notes for who he wanted to give it to this time. I'd like to thank Liza for giving me the Cultural Icon Award. It means a lot to be recognized. I'm glad she's taking a much needed vacation this week. I'd like to give the award this week to Spencer Rathall. He's been crushing it recently, and I've watched how he negotiates for his clients while acting in their best interest. He always makes sure that all the parties are treated with respect and transparency. Spencer always volunteers around the office and is willing to help out when asked, whether it is for a committee or with other agents, clients when needed. Well-deserved recipient, Spencer Rathall. I don't see him, so we'll clap for him. And this would be the point at which, this is your phone, right? This would be the point at which we'd have Spencer come up and get it, and then he'd tell us which one of these out of our belief systems is his favorite and why, but he's not here to do that, so we'll move on. Bam. You know, I'm just gonna say about Spencer, I don't know another dude in the office that can change his hair so often, so dramatically, and have it rocked out looking good. Yeah, okay. For Josh's notes that he usually gives, I believe we're listening to Melanie today. She's covering it for us. Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you. Following along since Josh started this the beginning of May, and that's when we got an assistant who started putting something together every week and then started releasing it on social media. So looking back, you know, I've always wanted to be consistent in this, and finally it became just the one thing that I wasn't negotiating on in a week. So if it didn't happen Friday, it was going to happen Monday. And I mean, Clayton Fulmer, a lot of you do this where if you miss it, you have to get it back on the calendar. And we are all probably pretty bad about just shoving things to the side and letting it go. But I can just say this is one thing I've actually been consistent with since May, and it's due to Josh and then the support that he's gotten to do this. So I appreciate it. We're all trying to be as consistent as you.
What are you talking about? Thank you.
If you haven't seen it, it's in the link tree. So for market stats for the week of August 25th, it kind of feels pretty stable. So well, it will be. It will be. So you've got 18th, right? So each week it is on Linktree, and the 25th will be there today. So active listings in Utah, 61 more homes are active, which, I mean, when you're talking about a difference of 61, you're going from 13,484 to 13,543 Bigfoot, right? So it just feels like it's kind of holding steady. Active listings in the last 7 days, 14 more than a week ago. Under contract and backup, 50 fewer properties in the last week into pending status, and then sold down 23 week over week. However, we will be seeing this week that jump. End of month always does. So the expired councils are withdrawn. We, if you remember back to the end of July, we hit that 714 number in 1 week, which was huge. Now we dropped to 398 3 weeks ago, 399, now 388. So we're kind of stabilizing there. Price reductions in the last 7 days,
1567. So right about that 1600 mark again. So I'm telling a lot of our buyers and sellers, 49% of houses over the course of their listing are experiencing a price reduction. So we have shifted strategy with our sellers because we're doing the absorption report. We're getting a nice spectrum of where we would suggest that the market, is going to tolerate their pricing. And then we're pricing high. We're planning on a 2-week saturation. We're probably going to dip. And we had one that we're closing tomorrow, listed 2 weeks, dropped 10,000. We actually went under contract right in the middle, 5K between the two, and our sellers were thrilled. So it's a strategy that's working for us. So average days on market, we've seen that tick, 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 tick. And to me, that is just a seasonal, it's just what we deal with. 57, 59, 60, 61 is what's happening there. So just like national trends, Utah's inventory peaks in October and begins its decline in November. I think there's a misnomer out there that people think August back to school is the seasonality. So remember, don't take your foot off the gas pedal. That's not quite true. So this is a stat that I found interesting. I always want to know that percentage difference from list to sell. And right now it's 96.6%, the ratio from list price to sales price. That is down from last July when it was 97.5. So the median sales price for a single family home in Salt Lake County is median $613,700, also down 1.4% from last July. Inventory is up 47% over last July. So, but you notice in pockets, Wasatch Back, I saw the statistic that they are experiencing about 6.7, 6.8% appreciation. So it really depends on your target market, which is if you've got a niche, know the numbers for your niche. And then let's see. Homes are taking 35% longer to sell than last July, which it's a patient market. So we got to fine tune our conversations to move people along. Let's see. Logan and Josh both are feeling that buyers are going to have a little shift in their favor. In August numbers, those trend lines are holding true, which is kind of the narrative I think we've all been conversing about. So mortgage rates though, that 6.64 magic line that he's talked about, we're now 3 weeks under that. But still there's a discrepancy in listings nationwide to active buyers. It's like a discrepancy of about 33%. And they say that we're in a healthier market when it's about 12%. So like 1.9 to 1.5. So, but we do know 70 to 80% of sellers are buyers. So that's the number to watch. I highly recommend you listen to the Housing Wire. I listened to it again this morning. It was just released yesterday. The most important housing data to monitor for the rest of 2025. So quick 20 minutes. And it's just talking a lot about inventory, a lot about mortgage interest rates. But then the other thing is we've seen an influx in the new construction world, right? You've seen the Buffett, 700 million, Lennar, DR Horton, all of that. And Logan tells us, do not confuse the two. They are selling a commodity. They can be efficient sellers. If they've got too much inventory, they just delist 8 properties. Well, your sellers are not just going to delist. If you've got 10, sellers, you can't just delist them. So think of the new construction world as efficient sellers selling a commodity. Do not mix the two data ever. That's what I got.
I got one. I'm going to do a group open house out in Durham. And so yesterday morning, I came in and looked in Harriman. I have a townhouse newly listed. There are 74 other townhouses with 2-car garages that are similar square footage. 15 sold last month, but only 5 went under contract last month.
So your
And
absorption.
22 more came on the market in the last 22 days. So I sent out my normal invitation to the 74 agents who have those listings. Only this time I gave them those statistics and said, we're going into fall with a 5-month supply of our product. So do you want to join me? I think I've had 9 of them already in 12 hours respond and said, thank you. I'm bringing these stats to my seller.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is if you can pool all of the resources, anybody who could be interested in that from any of those SOIs, you got a better chance of selling yours.
Well, that's it. Buyers are going to come. I've done group opens for 10 or 20 years. Buyers are more likely to come when they can see a bunch rather
Efficient.
than just seeing one.
Yeah.
So it is efficient. Mine shows well. So I'm thinking I'm going to be on the plus end of that. But yeah, the numbers, as I look at today's market report and the absorption rate don't reflect different pockets. And I remember a time when Daybreak, which by the way has a lot of inventory right now, Harriman and Draper were way longer absorption rates than the rest of the Salt Lake Valley. So watch out for your pockets. Make sure you're checking those absorption rates that Mel is doing.
Yeah, so we just brought it back to another thing Logan said this morning is that you're looking NAR statistics are typically lagging.
Yeah.
And you have got to be in the week because what we are looking at right now is going to be presented in NAR stats in
Next
3
quarter.
months, which is too late to have made a shift.
I had to just do one little funny on the same subject here. Number one, when Josh started doing these things, I appreciate the fact that a lot of you are clamping onto them, and Melanie can stand up here and intelligently present. Just blows me away. Not that, but I mean, but no, seriously. And Josh is always saying you want to be the local economist, and we get all this news, national news, and even statewide news on the current market and all that. Yesterday, my business partner that I've done the nonprofits with forever came into the office, and he's no friend of Lee's, and Lee retold that same story about the inventory. We are right now trying to price a new home project that we've got going in Murray. Our world is completely different than her world in whatever. And so that's when we started talking about, hyper focused in the niche market and all that kind of thing. As we were walking out, I talked to my friend, he's going, yeah, I started talking to the executive director of our nonprofit about the same thing. But she keeps coming up with this video from some guy in town that's telling us all these stats, and it was Josh. So somehow or another, my client got a hold of Josh's, and so anyway, do hyper focus. The absorption rate in Salt Lake Valley has nothing whatsoever to do with it in Harriman. And so make sure that what you are presenting is real.
Thank you, Melanie. Yeah. Josh Stern's team has looked at those numbers weekly for I don't know how many years. As a result, Mike Walters once taught a class on looking at those numbers. That was back in 2022. I'd been an agent for like a year. I started tracking those numbers and making YouTube videos about them. I have not missed a Monday since October 2022, except for like 2, I think. And I made up. Is that the consistency you were talking about? Okay. Yeah, and for those of you who know or don't know, I do a lot of open houses, and I do well with open house leads, and a lot of it is how well I can talk to the points of the market because guys, those videos will never, ever, ever go viral. There's not that many people who care about what Utah's housing market are doing, right? But I'm not trying to go viral so much as just be able to give value to the people I'm working with. And the fact that I put the information together, consumed it, went over it, and organized it in a good way means that I can relay it at the drop of a hat. And that's been very helpful for me. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Okay. What are we looking at? We're looking at this class. Yes, this class from Josh tomorrow at KW Utah from 12 to 2 out of the MREA playbook, out of the 36-point touch section. He's talking about newsletters. Lee, I know you do newsletters consistently.
Yeah. So this is really in the series that Josh does. This is the very first class. that doing YouTube, doing newsletters, in other words, working your SOI, and you haven't been through that first initial class, I would absolutely do it. And my business, the phone rings all the time, only from doing.
Well, that's not a good enough incentive.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Perfect. Thank you. And then Justin's wealth building class, we're so lucky that he offers those, frankly. And this week he's talking about decisions that compound systems, structures, and success. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I know Justin's teaching it, so it's worthwhile. I would show up if you could. We've got this. Do you guys remember the fires that happened downtown? Was it like 2 weeks ago? Was it just last week? Shad, you're here. Could you talk to this? You knew the restaurant owner of, or one of the places that burned down. And so is it you that's helped organize this, or you just know about it and you're bringing it to us?
So the Utah CCIM chapter, I'm on the board, and they put this fundraiser together just to try to help out the people that work there. Obviously, the owners of the restaurants will get paid out, but some of the employees won't. So
Right.
that's what this is for.
Okay, perfect. And that's in 2 days. Yeah, Thursday. Thank you. At this place, it's a cool place downtown. It's like 5th South and 300 West or something like that. Cool place. Okay. Thank you, Shad. Liza's next luxury syndicate. I don't know about y'all, but whenever it said the word syndicate just makes it sound like an organized crime ring. And I love that she's done that. But for her next luxury syndicate thing, she's brought this contact of hers, Christy Watson, Colorado's luxury leader. And so I've gone to most, if not all of those. I think I might have missed one. I think we're incredibly lucky. It's not like in the rubric of what the team leader is supposed to do to offer that to the market center. I think we're really lucky to have Liza here and bring these people in. I've gotten a lot out of the people that she's brought in and what they've said and what they've offered. So that's next, I don't know what day of the week that is, but September 11th, 9:30. And it's here. Thursday, somebody said? Is it 2 Thursdays from now? That sounds about right. Yes, it is. Perfect. Anybody interested in those flashcards? Highly recommended. I am in the office Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30, unless I'm not, in which case I try to mark that I won't be here on my office window. So if you walk by and you see something about that. But on Fridays, it's not like there's a bunch of people that gather close around Linda and Liz's offices, and they do that whether I'm there or not. So if you want to role play, say again. Fridays at 10. Okay. Okay. I'm going to have Kirsten and Samantha and a visitor that we didn't introduce as one of our visitors. She didn't raise her own hand, so I figured she didn't want to. Talking about our upcoming event.
Yes, you get to use this mic.
Well, first
It's the rules.
We wanted just to introduce you real quick. So come over here. This is Lisa Cacavelli. Cacavella.
I'll
Sorry.
answer to anything. It's all good.
So she is the ALC events chair at KW Utah, which is our other brokerage that we work with. So we have decided to partner with KW Utah for our fall event. They've been doing it for years. It's super exciting. She's going to talk to us about it. But first, we're going to play a video from last year so you guys can see just how awesome this event is. How does that look? Live music, fire shows, like haunted houses, all kinds of stuff. Lisa's
It
gonna
has
come tell
everything.
you.
It is, yeah, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. I'm so glad we're teaming up with this one. This is my favorite event of the year. So this is the one I really lean into. And a lot of agents out of my office, they've already had clients calling them, you know, for the last month saying, hey, I didn't miss out on RSVPing for this, right? They've just made it a tradition. It is pretty phenomenal. Kuahara, if you haven't been there, it's on the west side of Draper, west side of I-15. It's just beyond some kernels of corn in a little sandbox type thing. Like, it is pretty cool. So the itty bitties come early and the older kids love being there later. The light shows are phenomenal. We have an email going out to everybody with so many details that it should cover all of your questions. We have the posters. You're going to have a QR code here. You're also going to have access to the link to RSVP for your tickets on the email that's being sent out. This link is only for you. We are not doing it through Eventbrite. We're saving that $3,000 on fees that they charge there. We want to keep the ticket cost reasonable. Tickets are $12 a piece. September 25th starts at 5:30, goes to 9 o'clock. There will be donuts. We've got sponsors that are leaning in. Our vendors are amazing. This video link will be on the email that we send out so that you can see it in a little bit higher quality. And then again, just reference back to the email. It's pretty fantastic. I will also hang around after team meeting. So if you have specific questions, hopefully I can answer them. We've been doing this for a minute. So this is my favorite.
One of the things that we did talk to her about, because I know in the past different agents have wanted to be able to like set up a spot to have their people come find them. Because this is a tight spot and we only have spots for the vendors or the sponsors, I'm sorry. What she has done in the past, which I thought was an awesome idea, and I think I'll probably do it the same, is she got some balloons and tied them to her and just had them hanging out, floating around, and then when she sent like the don't forget about this party to all of her people, she sent a picture of the balloon and was like, find me, this is what I look like. And they were all able to find her really easily. So this, I think, will be a super fun thing to do. I know that in the past that we had done the pumpkin patch, so that is still available as a private event that Marita is hosting. So if you're interested in doing that instead, talk to Marita. That's totally separate, is no longer a KW event. This is now our KW event. We're partnering with KW Utah as well as South Valley. There's tons of tickets still available. There's 2,500 total. And so get your tickets now because they start to fill up fast because, as you know, most of us realtors are kind of slackers when it comes to this kind of stuff. In the last minute, we're like, oh crap, I gotta get on that. So if you wait too long, you might not be able to get tickets. So get on that fast. I do have the email, like she said, it's all ready to go. She's got some awesome information on how to market it, videos, links, all kinds of fun stuff. I was just waiting to have this meeting to officially announce the exciting new change. And then we'll send that out later today so you guys can start getting your SOI on it as soon as possible.
C's and S's will love the emails. I's and D's, get it to your admin and let them take over because there are a lot of details in it. Just know that you can reference back to that email.
And then one of the things, we got a lot of feedback from some of the agents that we've discussed in this office who have done it in the past about some logistics. It sounds like some of those things are currently being worked on, parking, check-in. So hopefully those go a lot smoother and they won't be a concern or a problem. And as we get closer, agents will get more and more details.
So Kuahara is doing a soft opening the weekend before, so we won't be the guinea pigs this year, and they will have everything set up for us, which is really nice.
We participated in this 3 or 4 years ago, and I thought, and I thought, oh gosh, my clients are all like me, older than dirt. They're not going to be excited. Oh my gosh, my people were excited. They had a blast. The hard part was trying to find them all in all the events that were happening, and I'd already decided where we went, so I'm glad that's good. But literally, they thought it was just a
You bet.
And I've already got it out in my September 1st newsletter.
Perfect. And the other thing that is a part of the email that's going out, there is a map of the venue. So you can look at it and say, do you want to be on the quieter pumpkin side, which is perfect for social media photos, everything else? Or do you want to be on the exciting end where the noise and the concerts and everything are going? So you can at least give them a general area by looking at that map. Look for me next to, and I will have this. I mean, I had a 6-foot balloon tied up on me so they could, just like one of those big arrows saying, here I am.
On that note, right here, you see this is the sponsor booth. So there's going to be donuts and drinks.
Donuts and water bottles.
Donuts and water bottles. So these sponsors are paying a lot of money. I saw the numbers to contribute to this event. So there's only a few sponsors, but they are really contributing and diving in. So they're all going to be right here, right by this stage. So there's going to be all that fire shows and fun stuff happening here. So the sponsors are going to be over here. And then we're going to have all the donuts right here. So this is going to be a hot spot right here. So the line that comes over here to Once Upon a Time Adventure last year apparently backed up. So they figured out a way to keep that going. But all of the people for this event or this venue are going to come right by the sponsor booth. So they're going to get a lot of good exposure. So that's going to be awesome for them. And then trickled throughout, you can kind of like be hanging out. You could just be like, hey, I'm going to be over here. Find me. I'll just stay here the whole time.
By the
If you
food
want to do
trucks,
something
be
like
wherever
that.
you're going to be comfortable.
But yeah, there's gonna be a check-in here. There's gonna be a line that has like people right up here in front of all the cars. So there should be a lot of space. We're trying to talk to them about maybe we're gonna try to find some off-location parking for all of the people that are part of the event. We can get there, set up and move our cars out of the way so there's more parking for the clients. We're encouraging clients to carpool, take a Lyft, take an Uber, because you know what? Let's be honest. Any event you go to, parking sucks. It's just the reality of going to something.
So bring your own camping chair, your fold-up
Yes.
chair. There aren't out there. There are plenty for our clients, but if we all start trying to set up spots, we'll have a problem.
No tables allowed.
Yeah, so just bring your camping chair and tie your balloons in.
And something else that's really great is we have the opportunity to get our wristbands the week before. So you also have the opportunity to have one-on-one connection with the clients that you've invited, hand them their wristbands, and then they have a VIP location that they get to go in. So they don't have to
pass.
go
They don't have to wait in line.
through the
If you
line.
do
So that
your work.
also is a really great opportunity to have one-on-one interaction. You just need to let us know so that we can ensure that we get you your
However,
wristbands.
if you do not hand out those wristbands ahead of time, they will have to come stand in line. Fire marshal, they are very, very strict on that parking lot area. Fire marshal will shut them down if they have agents standing out there. Trust me, in the past, I've been the one standing by the porta potties waiting for clients to show up for 3 hours. That is not a fun place to hang out. So just plan on meeting your clients inside. If they don't get their tickets ahead of time, just bring them to the entrance where we have our volunteers that will be helping to check people in. You can stay there with them and be a helper and watch for your clients, or you can just hand over your tickets and then your clients will just line up like everybody
Liz
else.
has something in the back.
I'm just curious, compared to 2 years ago, do you know how many tickets were sold that year versus this year?
Yes, fire marshal, they cut down the numbers allowed at Kuahara. And so they only allow 2,000 people in the park at one time. And so that's why we are absolutely capped at 2,500 tickets. So that is where first come, first serve. I've already reserved tickets even before hearing back from my SOI, just because I know that I can give them away and that, again, you can defer the cost. If you don't have the marketing budget for the event, defer the cost onto your client. Work it out with Audrey, the MCA, to they'll either charge your card on file or you can work out another payment arrangement with her, but you will collect the money from your attendees and they will make the payment and then you will make the payment to the market center.
What if you don't have enough tickets reserved and have more people come?
Down at the end, that is where we're going to be doing some bartering back and forth. Say you've got 20 tickets that you didn't give away that you had reserved, put it out there to us. We will be communicating between the offices so that you have the chance to sell it to somebody else. But again, get those tickets reserved because there is a big chance that they're going to run out with all 3 offices heavily leaning into it. We've got some big teams participating this year.
And once the email goes out, if you have any specific questions about the event, just respond to Lisa because she's been doing this for years. This is her baby. She has it all dialed in. She's got every answer you could possibly imagine. If you ask Samantha and I, we just have to go ask her. So just refer to Lisa if you have any questions. And as far as the billing goes, talk to Audrey, Liza, always, every time we have an event, talk to them about the financial stuff, not us. They can work with you if you need to come up with some sort of deferred payment plan like we've talked about. So talk to them. And then I guess pretty much that's it. Let's just go and have some fun.
I'll hang out after if you have questions.
Perfect.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you. All right, how quickly can I crank through the rest of these slides? Because it's 11:57. Okay, the golf tournament's coming up. Check. Where are we at? Did that. Yeah, please.
I was gonna say, we need like 5 more volunteers for the morning. We'll need a lot. Interested in being involved in the tournament and seeing what that's like, especially for you newer agents. It's a great opportunity to come in and hang out with everyone. You don't have to play golf. We just help with setup and then
Perfect. Thank you. And she's out. All right. Okay, perfect. So just a couple other things. There's usually a team leader moment. I'm not the team leader and you don't need any of my moments, so we'll skip that. Before I go to wants and needs, a couple of other things. Heads up, our beloved Dofi, Lexi, is making a transition. If you are a capping, tell me if I get any of this wrong. If you are a capping agent in this office, you will be able to ask for her help with social media marketing. Okay, she's going to transition out of her current role as Dofi. I don't know how soon. Do you know exactly? Okay, so a week and a half? A week? Not even a week? What? Yeah. Okay. It's, go ahead.
All of the above. Trackers are also, once they get it set up, going to be eligible for the market center posting for you twice a week. I'd say they'll be very cookie cutter. We'll go over it before. I'm still working out the logistics with Liza and Audrey, but I'm going to get my calendars open. I will be hybrid remote for this. I will be in the office 2 to 4 times a month, weather permitting. I'm being very specific with weather permitting because we all know how Utah winters are. But I will always be available during Zoom during my office hours.
That's awesome. That's something that a lot of us have wished we had. So if you're not capped, there's an incentive. Work on becoming a capping agent. And then we do have a vendor today. Let's give them a moment. I think you came in clutch today when somebody else couldn't make it. So thanks for being here on short notice.
So
Yeah.
my name is Olivia. Most of you are probably more familiar with Kelsey, but we're with Pillar to Post. I'm on their marketing team. We're a home inspection company, so if you haven't used us before, we offer a premium home inspection service designed to match the premium service that you provide to your clients. We offer same-day reports, both printed and email, if that's more of your jam. And then we also are starting to emphasize pre-listing inspections right now. We know that it can be a little tough right now trying to differentiate in the market. But having a pre-listing inspection is a great way to be able to not only catch those problems early and be better in those negotiations, but to also just have a better peace of mind when supporting your client. Yeah, so if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me, or I can also give you our business cards for any other information. But yeah, we brought tacos today, so enjoy.
Nobody hates tacos. Thank you. Okay, and then wants and needs. I'll start. I have an open house for I have a need for an open house to be covered for a listing of mine. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo in Sandy. from 2 to 4 p.m. this coming Saturday. I will be home with all 4 of my children. I don't think I should run an open house with them tagging along. I don't think, no, I don't think in a 3-bedroom condo, I don't know. So if anybody's down for running an open house, we can talk, but if it, yeah, whoever's down for that. Anybody else for wants and needs? What do we got? Luna.
Thank you. I do want to also give a shout out to Pillar to Post. All of their inspections that they've done on my, for my clients have always been so thorough, and they're so professional, and the reports are really, really great too. So, but I do have just a townhome in Mill Creek that's for rent right now. So if anybody who would need some temporary, even like short term, then we can definitely get somebody in there. It's they've got a pool. It's really nicely updated, nicely remodeled, laundry, hookups and everything. And we're renting it for $1,850. And pets are allowed with an additional deposit.
Perfect.
I have
Liz.
some restaurants that I'm shopping around off market on State Street. One of them is about 1,000 square feet with a drive-through. One of them's about 5,200 square feet, with half of that being leasable square footage, and one of them being about 2,000 square feet, equipment included. So if any of your clients say, "Hey, I own a restaurant," when you're walking them through a house, you're showing them, and they're looking for another location, I'd love to speak with them. Thank you.
I've got a condo coming up in West Valley. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and it's in really good shape for $200,000. So if you've got a buyer that's in that tough price point, this one's really cute, really well managed, and affordable HOA as well. It'll probably hit the market the week after Labor Day, whatever day that is. So what? No. Sorry.
I have a FHA buyer, and we are looking anywhere as far north as West Jordan, as far south as Lehigh, but anywhere east to west. So we'll go all the way to Eagle Mountain, up to 427. They've got a brand new baby and saved every single penny to get into a house. So anything that's got new carpet and paint is preferred. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, minimum requirements.
I am looking for an HOA management company. A client of mine that bought a little condo not too long ago. They're struggling with their management company now. So if anybody's had positive experience with an HOA, love that. And then also I'm looking for a concrete countertop refinisher. That's hard to find.
I have a listing coming up in a couple weeks in Bountiful. I can't talk. It has an attached garage. It's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. They have renters in it right now. The renters are moving out this week, and then the property management company is going to go in, clean it, turn it over. I don't know the exact condition yet. I will know next week, but we are going to be just under 400,000. So if anyone knows anyone looking for a townhouse under 400,000, hit me up.
I have a client that is looking for a house with a pool in like Mill Creek, Olympus Cove, Holiday, or a tear down, a house with a tear down that would be big enough to build a house with a pool. So
budget?
anyone knows of anything?
What's the price point budget?
Up to 2 million.
Okay, is that it? Have I missed anything on slides, Makai? Okay. Let's get out of here and get back to your day. Thanks for coming, guys. I would love to have you take it. Thank you.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let me just send you the listing.
Perfect.